You guys, what is going on in the Love Island USA villa? Like, to be honest, I don't really care in terms of, I was upset about the Jeremiah dumping, but I'm like, it's not the end of the world. And Jeremiah was not really that interesting, to be honest. Ace was low-key pissing me off, but I'm just like, he is bringing the drama. I have liked Ace from the beginning, and I like the messiness he brings to the show, and I feel like I'm watching Big Brother on Love Island. But could they be losing the plot a little bit? Let's talk about it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here to talk about the fallout from the Casa Amor dumping. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And honestly, I need you guys to let me know in the comments. Are you feeling what's going on, or are you tapping out of the season? We're already in too deep, so let's keep it going. So this was kind of insane. So we first started off with Sierra and Elon chatting, and he basically talks about what he likes in a woman. And Elon said when he left university, and I've come to find out that he did go to school in Toronto, Queen's engineering student. I'm also an engineer, and he's wearing his engineering ring on the show, which is kind of cool. So he called it university, and that's an instant giveaway that he's from Canada, because we call university university, and I believe Americans call university college. And I think what you guys call community college is what we call college here. So that was very, very fun, because I clocked that immediately. Their convo was cute, but I could definitely tell he was an engineering boy, because the way he was talking about how he feels and like expressing himself, it wasn't giving typical Love Island boy lingo, you know what I mean? He seemed very intentional about what he wants to be, where he wants to be, what he wants to pursue. So I was like, okay, smart boy. Then we get to Iris and Zach talking, and the only thing I could see in this scene was Zach's nose ring. I'm so sorry, that's jarring for me. Their convo wasn't super deep, but it was basically them just talking about how much they like each other and how much things they have in common. And yeah, it was giving bore a little bit, but you know, we had that chat. Then we have Grayson and TJ. They're talking about their kiss. TJ says round 2 was way better. So they're talking about the kiss, and Grayson was like, you said to the next girl that the previous kiss was better. And you could just tell that TJ, I don't know, him doing the most in that challenge did not help him at all. She did admit that she's not naturally affectionate, and TJ definitely was sweating a bit because he could tell that she wasn't really feeling the chat. Then we have Huda and JD talking, and I'm not gonna hold you, this scene was so awkward. Like, not awkward, but more like, what was he trying to say? You know how I feel and what I'm thinking. I'm like, is he Irish? Is he American? Like, I couldn't really figure out what was going on. And I saw a tweet right before I started this video that I can see when Huda activates. Like, it's like they said the lashes become horns or some ish. I don't know. But yeah, Huda seems into it, but I feel like she was really trying too hard. Like, she's a little like, look, I'm over my ex. They talk about her dating someone with kids. Like, that's never a problem. But why didn't you tell people in the villa when you first came in if it wasn't a problem? Usually, you see, Huda talks out of both sides of her mouth. She just talks to talks. She talks for when it's convenient. She talks for, I don't know, man, whatever. Then it's nighttime. Everyone's still chill, filling it out. Then they're going to bed, and to me, we get in the morning where they're making breakfast, and JD makes breakfast for Huda and Amaya. It was interesting because I didn't really know if he had a connection with Amaya, and we later do find out that that's one of the viable options he was considering. And that you could tell that Amaya got to work. She saw elimination chopping blocks, and Amaya said, oh, I'm gonna survive again. Then we get to the boys chat, and they're all talking about what they did last night, if they cuddled. And Brian and Andrina were like, yeah, they got cozy. And Zach says it's way too early to cuddle, but that Olandra basically said that she didn't want to kiss him, and And no, no, not that she didn't want to kiss him, but that it took her a whole week to kiss Taylor. And he made the joke that he doesn't even have a week. And I kind of chuckled. That was quite funny. And what do you guys think about Alandria like not grafting hard enough for Zach? I like that she stayed true to herself, but I wish it was for someone that was worth it. I feel like Taylor does not deserve her loyalty, but I like how regardless of what Taylor is and who he isn't, Alandra is gonna stay true to herself. But it just really hurt me watching her kind of give her all to someone who's already giggling with two new girls he doesn't even know, like over a day. And we'll get to that later. And Amaya and JD talk. She gets really emotional and she opens up about feeling misunderstood. And I felt really bad for her. Like, Amaya do be crying a lot. And I get it. I'm very emotional myself, so I can't really call somebody out now. But it's like, that's how traumatized she feels from what the boys have kind of painted her out to be in the villa. And you know who's responsible for that. She clarifies that she's not clingy, she just needs physical touch. And honestly, I really hate to see my Amaya Papaya sad and traumatized by what these boys have kind of made her feel like she's clingy and doing too much in the villa. But I do think she has a lot of ways to learn on how to present herself as truly who she is, but also being aware that not everybody is gonna like how you come across, but you should also be able to be comfortable with yourself and also be in control of how you are in a space like that. Next, we have TJ and Vanna, and they're talking about their parents and their family. And Vanna is basically talking about how her parents are still loved up, which is nice to hear. And TJ is talking about his dad being older, like he shared when he first came into the villa. And Vanna says, "I wish I could be in your bed." And we kind of get a good sense that these two are going to be together. I have no notes on these people. Ace and Coco talk, and honestly, they talk about LA food, and she can talk to anybody. Like, Coco is very bubbly, very friendly, and you can see that she's not the type of girl Ace is gonna disrespect. Like, she's gonna hold her conversation, hold her own, and you can see there's a connection in terms of like they vibe, but I don't really see much romantic connection, more friendly, I would say. And they both talk about dating. He said he's open to dating multiple people. She says she likes to date with intention. And yeah, we have that. Alandria and Zach have a conversation. And to me, this was a very weird convo from Zach because I feel like he was just fishing for a kiss. And you picked Alandria because yesterday she communicated that she's not the type of girl who is about the physical. And I don't know what you thought you were going to expect by asking her for a kiss. But it's very clear to me that he wasn't going to pick Alandria. Him saying it was 50-50, I didn't really believe that. But Alandria, baby girl, you're on Love Island. Like, come on. I wish she gave this energy to someone that was deserving and not a man who is basically keeking with two new girls he just met over you that he's known for a really long time. Then we have a conversation with Taylor and Clark, and they said they were talking all morning. They're vibing. They're talking about grooming animals. I ain't gonna hold you. I could not follow up. I could not follow along with this conversation whatsoever. But what is important to note is Ace and Nick's conversation. And Ace and Nick are deliberating like, this guy has been cheesing. He's a little too happy over there. What's going on? And Ace is like, hey, like he's still like obviously thinking about Alandria because he's his friend. But that's the thing is, if Ace is really the true game player, I think he'll be okay with Taylor moving on from Alandria and Nick and breaking up that couple so that he can get that. So I was gonna say Soul Survivor because he playing this game like World Survivor or Big Brother. And Nick was saying he feels like Taylor looks more happier with Clark. And I don't know, Nick always be on the wrong side of some history, man. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, he talks about that. And Ace, I think Ace does, it's either he's rooting for his friendships within Alandria and Taylor together or he's the game player. And to be honest, I'm 60-40, he's a game player. So we'll see. And then the next conversation that we have is between the girls in the villa, and they're all checking in. Sierra is talking about what they think about Amaya, that she's kind of moving to the guy Huda is with. This conversation very much gave core girls, like, you know, this is giving game, like this is the first time I'm seeing gameplay be openly exposed as a conversation. And you can see that they're worried about what's going to happen because they said people are going to be vulnerable tonight. They all strategize about what's going to happen, and they warn Huda that if JD and Amaya connect, that she's going to be left single. Then Alandria brings up her combo with Zach, and she looks so irritated. She was like, I was not about to kiss that man. I'm not kissing on the challenges, da-da-da-da. Then they ask her how she feels about Elon. They ask Sierra how she feels about Elon, and Sierra kind of says she doesn't know. She thinks they're connecting, but she also is questioning if there's enough substance between her and Nick's conversation. Like I said, Elon is an engineering graduate student. The way he was talking, man, I was like, oh, okay, this guy got brains. And most of the time we got birds on Love Island. So I feel like she's more, but also Nick is a smart guy. I just think his chat is very airheady. So she's kind of upset, and she's not really, sure how she's feeling in general, and second guessing her connection with Nick. Then we get Sierra breaking down. She's so sad. She's upset. She's runs upstairs, I think, to the diary room, and she's talking about she doesn't know what Nick is doing over there. She's having a miserable time. And I think casa amor is just always going to be harder for women because we tend to form emotional bonds way quicker than men. Not always, but that's how I feel. And it's always going to be tougher when you feel like you've connected with a guy intimately the way that she has, and there's nothing she can do. She's going to feel how she feels. Yes, she can try and connect with other guys, but she really does like Nick. Meanwhile, in the boys' villa, Nick is living in fantasy land. He's talking to Jaden. They're by the pool, and he says he thinks she has feelings for him. He's a little confident. I think he thinks she's going to pick her because who's Austin? And somebody said, Ace has basically set up the game plan. Like, my boys are going to be safe tonight. Like, don't worry. Pull her for a chat. Fill her up. Whatever. So they have a conversation. That was all right. They bond about random, they're swimmers and boring chat. Next, then Shelly spills to Alandria. She's like, oh, I really like Chris. Oh, I'm in a pickle. Shelly, we've seen this card before. Shelly, baby girl. I ain't even gonna, to be honest, I don't really see it for Chris, but I do want her to come back to the villa and show Ace that, oh, she could bag a man. She could bag a man taller than you, okay? And then Zach comes clean to JD about kissing Amaya the night before, and he says he's a little nervous because he doesn't know what's gonna happen tonight. And then we have Amaya telling Alandria what happened, and she tells her that she kissed Zach, and Alandria seems like to take it well. She's like, and I think she kind of understood that she was going to be going home that night. And then we get Taylor, Nick, and Ace talking, and the boys are saying that that Ace is saying like Taylor said he's feeling Clark, and then Coco, who are you going to pick? Then we have Austin and Jaden talk, and he tells her he really likes her. He's putting his all in her, and she seems really receptive. To be honest, the chat between Austin and her in the first Casa Amor episode seemed more like free-flowing than the one with Nick, Then we have Nick talking to Jaden, telling her he's really open, he likes her, he's smooth talking. And then we get to the recouplings. So we start off with the girls' villa, and to be honest, I got so shook I stopped taking notes, but I do remember they asked Amaya to come and stand in the front. They asked, has anyone made a better connection with Amaya? And Zach stands up and basically couples up with her. Then we get Alandria standing up single, and they ask, does anybody have a connection with Alandria? And nobody stands up, and you could just see everybody, boom. Alandria, you must leave the villa and pack your bags and leave the villa. And everybody's breaking down. And then Zach tried to be the main character. Keep your mouths. Keep your mouths. Keep your mouths. Zach, nobody asked you. You don't need to hold your words. Like my girl said, hold your words. Who asked you? Who asked you? I don't know. I don't like that guy. I'm so sorry. Like that. Ugh, no thanks. Everyone's upset. They're weeping. You could just tell she's the heart of the villa. Like, but I'm not gonna. I didn't believe they're gonna dump their fan favorite Alandria now. Come on. Then we get to the boys' side. The single boy is TJ. He couples up with Vanna. Then Vanna has Ace. Ace couples up with Coco. Then Taylor is single. Then he couples up with Clark. And now you have Nick. And we're waiting for Mademoiselle Jaden to stand up. And she does not stand up. And you see Nick leave. The boys get emotional. They're sad. And that just lets me know they did not care about Hannah or Jeremiah. Like, you guys have to remember, this is just as much a social game as it is a way to find love and win money. It's a social game because half of the eliminations are in the hands of the people you're living with. So you always have to consider that. People are always going to vote for the people they're the most comfortable with. No matter game strategy, they want to make the vote that's going to allow them to sleep at night. And that was very clear with the Jeremiah vote. They did not rock with that man. Not one tear was shed. Nick's leaving. Even Pepe is crying. Pepe ain't even cried this much for Hannah the way he's crying for Nick. Boys were crying. You could tell it really hurt them. And then we cut to Alandria telling Nick to come in. And I know the swirlers are sick. I know the swirlers are geeking. I know the swirlers are happy. Anyways, you guys, what do you think about this twist? And what do you think about what's going to happen? Here are my predictions. Let's predict. I predict that Alandria and Nick, they're going to be watching. They're going to be watching what's going on, and they're going to come back and have to pick their own couples are going to have to pick if they're going to recouple or stay with the people that they're with. And maybe they won't know that they're saved. And if they choose to stay coupled, they'll be dumped. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, but we'll see. The episode will be back on Thursday, so we have a day off tomorrow. To be honest, they're losing me a little bit. I can't believe I'm saying it, because it's either you guys do the shock value and leave it as that and I'll be gagged, but don't do both. Don't gag and then redeem it, because I was here for the mess. If Alandria and Nick went home, so be it. I'm so sorry. The season would low-key have fallen off, but I wanted to either be you're gagging me or you're eliminating Austin and the Iris. All right, bye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Mwah. Love you guys.